Okay, I'm going to be leaving either late today or early tomorrow. Boomer's still around. Yesterday he was having problems going pee. Typical boy kitty problems. Um, it's not quite as vivid as it was. You can see a lot of wildflowers over here. There used to be a lot of what's called bluebonnets. It's like the state flower of Texas or something like that. And they covered this whole area. Anyhow, main reason for doing this is to show you the chicken coop. Picked up some, that's 11 2x4s, two each made into a two-dimensional TP and then beams across the top. Because one thing I found out when we made the coop back in Lompoc is that even though I used this wire to make the roof of it, it just wasn't rigid enough to hold itself up over time, so we made sure we put those things up. We used a combination of chicken wire and what do you call it? This plastic garden fence. The garden fence was cheap. It's only 14 bucks a roll. And we ended up using a little bit of shade cloth over on that side. There's a little, how do you put it? The way we end up putting it together is there's a bit of a gap over there, that, right up there. And so we just used it to, one, create some shade, and two, close that gap up. We also put another roll of shade cloth up here because, man, in the sun it is brutal. It's going to be hitting over 90 today, I guess. But anyways, yeah, we've got it done. I did end up moving these posts that way a little bit, about 1.5 feet, because it turns out that the distance between this side and the far side was about 27 feet, and pretty much everything you buy is either in 50 feet or 25 feet. So we just made sure it was all at 24.5 feet or whatever. So I guess it's 2.5 feet in some spots. But it's done. There's some stuff we can do to make it clean up a little bit, but we'll worry about that later. Oh, and we didn't catch the mistake in the dimensions until after we'd already wrapped the wire around it. So what I've done is we folded it here to take up some space, and then there's another fold down on the other end to do it. But overall, pretty happy with it. With that plastic roof, it's not going to last a super long time, but it'll last. I mean, we're going to be here a year, so. Haven't had a chance to fix the bottom of the door, but what we have been doing is that you see that 2x6 there. We lean that up, we lay it down, and then there's a bag of gravel, heavy bag of gravel. We lay that across it. So I guess if somebody really wanted to get in there, they could, but they have to work at it. I've got some lumber. I'm going to be trying to fix that. But anyway, here we go.